So here's the deal. There are new reports coming out that honestly blew my mind. They reveal real collusion happening in the NFL and, yeah, it involves a Browns player. Actually, it involves a Browns quarterback, which makes this even more important. And don't worry, we're going to dive all the way into it. Now listen, I'm not here to just scream collusion into the void or throw around wild accusations without context. That's not me. I'm not trying to stir the pot just for clicks. I'm coming to you with facts, laying out the details, and you can make up your own mind down in the comments. All I ask is hear me out. Let's start with Ryan Clark, because he's been speaking up for Shedeur Sanders a lot lately. And honestly, some of the things he's been saying line up a little too well with what we're learning from these new collusion reports. So I want you all to hear him first, then I'll give you my thoughts and break it all down from the Browns side and the league side. So, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts. In the comments, thank you for your support. So Ryan Clark said something that really stuck with me. He said maybe it's just his algorithm, but he sees Shedeur and Shedeur Sanders on social media more than any undrafted or fifth-round guy he's ever seen. Like, ever. Twitter, Threads, Instagram, you name it. It's there everywhere. And let's be honest, some of that attention is because of their dad. Deion Sanders is greatness personified. He could do things most athletes couldn't even dream of. He was the type of guy to tell teams he's not showing up for interviews because he already knew where he was going in the draft. He was like, I ran a 4.1. I'm not doing more drills. Watch the film. That was Deion. Pure confidence backed by generational talent. But here's the thing, Deion's fame and approach might have created backlash for his kids. Because now, Deion isn't in control of the situation, anymore like in the NFL draft process, suddenly things are changing. Suddenly there's all this negative chatter around Shedeur and none of it seems to be about football. It's all about character and personality. And none of that stuff is provable or disprovable from the outside. We can watch the tape and say, okay, maybe he doesn't have elite pocket movement. Maybe he doesn't have the Josh Allen arm. Cool. But that's football stuff. That's legit. What's not legit is all these anonymous reports saying vague things about his attitude, who he is as a person, and that's where it gets personal. You can see how much that hurt Deion, not just as a coach, but as a father. He's used to protecting his kids. He's used to being able to fix things. In this case, he couldn't. And that's gotta sting. As a dad, when your kid's crying or in pain, you want to fix it. But here, he couldn't do anything. And that had to feel like losing control for the first time in a long time. Now, let's get real. Deion's been calling out these lies for a while. Remember at the Big 12 Pro Day? He said straight up he knew who made those anonymous claims. He even said he dealt with it. Every single person who spoke publicly about Shedeur had nothing but good things to say. Giants GM called him a great kid, football smart, passionate, said he checked all the boxes. Doesn't sound like someone who's secretly toxic or selfish. But then you've got people saying, well, he didn't work out at the East-West Bowl. Cool, but maybe ask why. Because according to reports, the Titans, the Browns, and the Giants asked him to sit out. It wasn't Shedeur flaking out. That was teams playing their own game. One scout even said he's a good kid. Got some swagger. Seems like a QB1 type. So again, where's the evidence of this bad attitude? Which brings me to this collusion ruling. The NFL and NFLPA haven't even commented on it yet. The ruling is out. There are 61 pages of details that were supposed to stay hidden, and it confirms what a lot of people suspected. It talks about how the league tried to suppress fully guaranteed contracts. We're talking Lamar Jackson negotiations. Yeah. The fallout from Deshaun Watson's $230 million all of it. Look at this. According to the documents, during the March 2022 owners meeting, literally just days after the Browns gave Deshaun that fully guaranteed deal to the NFL, Management Council encouraged all 32 teams to reduce guarantees in veteran contracts. You hear that? Not suggest, not recommend. Encouraged. That's textbook collusion. And let's not forget, the NFLPA had already tried twice to get all player contracts fully guaranteed. So now you've got the league actively moving to make sure that doesn't happen again. Why? Because the Browns dared to give Deshaun Watson that deal. So now, I gotta ask, why was Deshaun Watson the last quarterback to get that kind of deal? Think about the quarterbacks who came after him. MVPs, Pro Bowlers, franchise guys. None of them got fully guaranteed contracts. You don't find that suspicious? I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I believe in conspiracies. And if you don't know the definition, look it up. A conspiracy is just a group of people working together toward a shared goal. That's it. It's not aliens. It's not lizard people. It's business owners getting in a room and saying, this is how we're going to operate. And that's what happened here. Now, back to Shedeur. He falls to the 5th round. Not 2nd. Not 3rd. Not even 4th. 5th. And people say, well, maybe the owner picked him, not the GM. Okay, let's run with that. So the owner knew why nobody else was touching him. He knew what the whispers were. But he picks him anyway. You're telling me that wasn't a setup? That wasn't a punishment? Look, I know it sounds extreme, but it starts to feel like a message was being sent. It's like, yeah, we let y'all get away with signing Watson, but now you're going to pay the price. We're going to make sure no other team even thinks about trying. That again, is how it looks to me. And honestly, Deshaun hasn't even looked like himself since. I don't know if it's the injuries or something deeper. But the guy jumping off massage tables doesn't look like a $230 million quarterback right now. He blew both of his Achilles, or was it just one? Either way, he hasn't lived up to the hype. And now we're watching the aftermath unfold in real time. So now I'm asking if the NFL could collude to stop guaranteed contracts. What makes you think they wouldn't collude to drop Shedeur Sanders down to the 5th round? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you made it this far, I know you heard what I said on. I'm not talking about 2nd or 3rd round. I'm talking about the 5th. Something deeper is going on, and it all seems to tie right back to that Watson contract and the Browns. And now let's jump back to Shedeur Sanders. Look, y'all have heard me talk about Shedeur before. I've said from the start, he's not just Deion Sanders' son. He's not just some flashy, confident quarterback. He's a legit talent. Calm in the pocket, poised, smart, experienced under pressure. He's got the tools. But leading up to the draft, man, the way the media shifted the narrative around him was wild. Early on, it was all love. Everybody was saying he could go late 1st, early 2nd. Then, all of a sudden, a week before the draft, the vibe changed. The tone in those articles flipped. Anonymous scouts started coming out of nowhere saying stuff like, he's not a leader, or he's hard to coach. And the narrative cooled off just like that. So please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button. Like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Then come draft weekend, the kid drops to the 5th round. 5th. And then who drafts him? The Browns. The same